Hi again. Okay, I have a footnote on my last episode when I talked about the lady with the kid that she felt like he was demon possessed, and then she came out of the bedroom and she was acting like she was demon possessed. Got in my face, told me to get out, and I just wanted to say that at that moment, I probably should have rebuked that demon right at that moment, but I didn't do that. I just left like she told me to. I think part of that, like I said, I felt really prepared, but I wasn't prepared for her to kick me out of the house. But I think part of the reason that that I did just leave was because that other pastor was there. And, I just felt like it wasn't my place to try to take over when there's a pastor in the room, right? So that's why I left. But if he wasn't there, I would have done more. I would have stood my ground with Jesus. I would have stood my ground and rebuked that demon. But pastor was there, so he should have done it. I don't know what happened. Okay, here I go. So I had this guy that was really into me, and he was so hot. And uh, when we first started dating, he wanted to know how old I was, and I told him, see, I could tell. Well, he told me he was 27, so I didn't want to tell him how old I was because I really liked him, and I was afraid that it would scare him away. So I just said, well, it doesn't matter. I said, it doesn't matter how old I am. I said, we can just, um, spend time together, have some fun, and, it doesn't matter. I said, if it gets to the point that we get serious about our relationship, then I'll tell you my age. But in the meantime, I said, I don't think it matters. I mean, he knew I had the three kids and he knew my kids. He knew that my daughter was 12 years old. So I thought, well, he has to figure that, I said, I'm older than you. I'm older than you. He said, yeah, but he wanted to know how old, but I didn't tell him. So we dated for 9 months. Um, like I said last time, I told you, about twice a month I saw him because he worked uh, out of town and he had parents out of town that he would visit every other week. So I only saw him like twice a week. But for 9 months, after 9 months, one night, I was over there and things went further than ever before. And he said to me, he said, are you going to tell me your age now? And I said 1952, and it was 1992. And he freaked out. He said, you're 40 years old? He freaked out. It was like he saw a ghost, and that was the end of it. I felt so horrible. I said, you knew how old my kids are. You knew I was older than you. I said, how old did you think I was? He said, I thought you had your kids really young. He said, I thought you were just a couple years older than me. He said, I had no idea you were that old. And so, oh, that was over. I was sad because I really did like him, but I knew that he was too young for me anyway. I never really expected it to turn into anything, but that last night we were together was the best, and that was when it ended, sad to say. Um, Never saw him after that. I ran into him one time, actually, after that, and I had an engagement ring on my finger when I saw him again, and that's coming up. So, the other guy, Tim, who I call Tim, uh, he finally did, kind of, sort of, left that woman. He moved to another state, so he left me too. And well, because he got a really excellent top level job in one of the biggest corporations in the world. Um, uh, really, really good. And so he moved and still keeping in touch with me. Then he wanted me to come visit him. And he sent me, he bought plane tickets for me a few times. I went to visit him over the weekend several times. And I hate to say it, I left my kids. They were so good all the time. I mean, I just couldn't imagine them doing anything wrong, um, that I should worry about anything. They were just so good, and they just seemed so responsible, that I left them, and they were. I mean, nothing ever happened when I was gone that I know of, anyway. But now I think back, and I'm horrified that I did that. But yeah, maybe you got to have some empathy for me because I was a struggling single mother. Um, I was used to being with a man for 19 years, and uh, it was hard. It was a hard time for me, for sure. And uh, I still had hopes of getting with that guy, but before he even moved, okay, uh, he wanted to get my daughter into modeling. Now, he had a hobby, I guess, but he was like a semi-pro photographer. He did pictures like that would get published sometimes, he would submit them to newspapers and all like that. So it was like a hobby that he was good at. And he also was into a lot of entertainment. He had met a lot of celebrities and had a lot of really good pictures of a lot of celebrities and stuff. Uh, anyway, he knew about modeling and a lot of these type of things. And a lot of people would, Lauren was turning into a very attractive young lady. And I mean, we're talking she's 12, 13 at this time, right? And a lot of people would mention that she should be a model. She was tall and thin and very pretty. And he helped put her get a portfolio together for her, which would have cost me hundreds of dollars, maybe $1,000. I don't know how much, but it would have cost me a lot to get a professional portfolio put together for her. And he did that. And he took her out a couple times to take these pictures, in different places, with different backgrounds and all different outfits and all. Now, some of them, when I saw some of the pictures, I did not like some of the pictures because some of the pictures she made her look younger, like in the playground with, play clothes on. And then some of the pictures made her look older and like, kind of sexy, which I did not like that at all because she was only 12, 13 years old. And I told him I didn't like it, and he told me that, for a portfolio you got to show a lot of different looks, and she will be, growing quickly, and they like to see all different looks. She won't be a little girl much longer and all this. So I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And anyway, um, Lauren seemed to be okay with it. She was half-hearted. She wasn't really into it. She kind of wanted to do it, but she kind of didn't want to. And I did get her an appointment at one of the modeling agencies downtown Atlanta, brought the portfolio, brought her, and she got interviewed and everything, and they were going to work with her. Um, it would be hard for me because I'd have to get her downtown Atlanta for different appointments and all, and that was going to be difficult. I didn't even know how I was going to do that. But if she wanted to do it, I was willing, to help her, you know, to help her do that, pursue that if that's what she wanted. Well, after that appointment, and I had a talk with her, serious talk, that I would commit to doing this and it would be a lot for me, but I wanted to do it for her. And she really was not into it. She didn't not want to commit. She didn't want to, she was not into it. She only had like one foot in it, And I said, well, I can't, I'm not going to sign you up and commit you if you don't have more, commitment going on, more enthusiasm, and you sure you want to try give this a good try? And sometimes it'll be inconvenient because we're going to have to rush there after school and different things like that. And she said no, she wasn't really interested. But then when he went to work at this other company, he told me that there was a modeling opportunity for her there that would be very easy, easy shoe in because of his position and everything, and that she could do an ad. So she went, he paid for her to come out, and he had a house with an extra guest room in it, and I had been there a few times, so I totally trusted the guy, and I felt like, I mean, he had been good to the kids. I felt like he was an okay guy that I trusted and all, but I let her go, and when she came back, she was very uncomfortable. I knew something had happened, and it took me a long, long time to get her to talk to me about it, but nothing really happened, but things happened enough to make her feel uncomfortable. Uh, and I felt horrible, horrible, horrible to have put her in an uncomfortable situation. And I mean, when I called and all, she never said there was anything wrong. She wanted to come home or nothing like that. But when she got home, I could tell that she wasn't happy. And um, anyway, I knew it that was it. That was it. Period. And nothing. And he had some excuse that the it didn't happen. The photo shoot that he had arranged did not happen for some reason. And um, he sent her home with some clothes he bought for her, and to kind of make up for the disappointment, and that was nice and all. But after that, I was like done, done. It's like, okay, I'm not messing with him anymore. I'm not making any more trips there, and I don't want my kids around him anymore. And that was it. Period. Done. Okay, so then we were there in that apartment in Signature Ridge, very nice apartments there, um 2 years. And then I decided to move to this other place that I found where the apartment was a little more roomy, and I liked it better because of that. So we moved to this other place. It was in Roswell, and Roswell's just north of Sandy Springs, and still, close to Atlanta, and just outside of Atlanta. And moved there, and um, the Braves were doing great at that time. The Atlanta Braves. This is 1992, and they were in the World Series, I believe, that year. They had been doing great for a little while, and I got into watching them and all, because living in San Diego, the Padres and the Chargers were really really sad teams at that time, and it was exciting to come to Atlanta where the Braves were hot. And when they were in the World Series, well, I started going to games with my friend Christopher from my job. Him and his wife and the other guy, Alex from the job, we would go, and I went to several games of the Braves, and I was even at one of the playoff games. It was really exciting, where they were like losing up until the ninth inning, and everybody left, and we were able to move right down into the front section of the seats, and watch them win that game. It was a playoff game. That was cool. And then anyway, so I was into that. And then so we moved to this new place, and when the Braves came on to the World Series, my kids were not into it. I tried to get my boys interested, and they really didn't care. My boys were depressed. My boys were really depressed about losing their dad, missing their dad and all, and I mean, Lauren may have been, she didn't show it so much. She got more social and started making girlfriends and was more busy, where my boys mostly stuck to themselves a lot and they were depressed. Um, Tried to get them to into the games, but they didn't want to watch them. They liked to play their video games. So I would go to the clubhouse in the apartments where I lived to watch the Braves game on the big screen World Series. And I was only female. There was about 6 or 8 guys that would go every night to watch the World Series and me. And so I got friendly with them. And the one guy I got was really cool. I really liked him, and he would always sit by me. Sometimes he would sit on the floor, like by my knees, and kind of lean on my knees and turn around and laugh with me and make jokes all the time. He had a good personality. I liked him. He was fun. And then I went out with him a couple times. Um, we went to dinner. I think we went bowling, movies, regular, usual things. Just maybe 3 dates. And 'cause he was fun, I liked him, but I did not find him attractive. Now, this guy was also quite a bit younger than me. He had long hair, and he had a earring, and he had a chipped tooth right here. He was a little chubby, so he wasn't, real attractive, but he was kind of cute, and he was just a lot of fun. I liked him. And here I am starting to date, right? So this is like the third guy I'm dating. And I remember my daughter Lauren, my kids didn't know what to make of it. When you get divorced and you start dating, it's hard on the kids. They don't know what to make of it. They don't know if it's good or bad, right or wrong. Of course they don't like it because it's not their dad. Anyway, she said to me, "He looks like somebody I should be dating." Then I realized, yeah, the guy is really young. I shouldn't be messing around with him. I had no designs on him. I mean, I just was having a good time. And doesn't mean that we slept together. I mean, this guy never even kissed this guy at all. He was just nice. But he was so sweet. He said to me, I mean, he wanted me to really be his girlfriend. He said to me, "I'll cut my hair." He said, "I'll get my teeth fixed. I'll do whatever you want." He said, that he really liked me, wanted me to be his girlfriend. And that's when I had to break it off and say, "I'm sorry, I can't do it. You're too young." And that was that. So then I met another guy in the laundromat. I met that one guy in the laundromat in other apartments. I met a guy at the laundromat in my new apartments, and he was from Minnesota. Nice guy, nice looking. He was my age, or maybe a couple years older. He was a good age for me. Had a good job. Went out with him again 2 or 3 times. Never kissed or nothing like that, but I couldn't like him because he talked so funny. He had this weird accent. I apologize. I'm really sorry if you're from Minnesota. Um, but it was a strange kind of accent. He had these odd expressions that I never heard before, and it it just kind of was a turnoff to me because he talked funny. Um, that's just the way it was. So I just couldn't really warm up to him because of the way he talked. Well, I couldn't get over it, the way he talked anyway. Um, I didn't know people in America talk like that, but they do. Uh, so I guess, okay, so when I was there in these apartments, they were called Harmony Bay. It was right by the 400. Um, it doesn't matter. But Lauren made some girlfriends. Now, uh, she was going out more and spending time and sleeping over girlfriends' houses sometimes and all that. And um, it was kind of getting a little risky, dangerous. Anyway, one time she went to, well, one time, let me tell you this. One time I got a call from the police call late at night. It was in the middle of the night, right? And again, I'm sleeping in the dining room again. I haven't let Lauren have the master in this new apartments, and boys had their bathroom. I mean, their bedroom. And there was, I don't know. I think there was two bedroom bathrooms. I don't know. Anyway, so this one time, late at night, middle of the night. I mean, it turned out it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. Got a call. It was the police. They said, "We have your daughter." I said, "No, you got a mistake." I said that you don't have my daughter. They said, "Yes, we have your daughter." I said, "No, my daughter's in her bed." And they said, "Well, you better go check because we have your daughter." And I got up and I went in the bedroom, and sure enough, bed was empty, window was wide open. She had climbed out. She was hanging out in the parking lot, smoking cigarettes with boys. I can laugh now, but that night it wasn't so funny, you know. But just showing how she was changing and, you know, becoming that rebellious girl like I was. She became very much like I was. She made a lot of the same mistakes that I did. Um, so that was kind of a wake up call to know how much I really didn't know what was going on with her. And she got her first boyfriend, and he was a little bit older, a couple years older, and that was not so good either. I mean, I had nothing against the kid, but it just worried me because he was older, and I know what happened with me when I had a old, you know, my boyfriend was just a year and a half older than me when I lost my virginity, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, this, you know, this is not good. Anyway, she liked him, and uh, one day I got a call when I was at work, and it was the police. And the police said, "Your apartment's been broken into. You need to come home right now. Your boys are pretty upset. You need to come home." So I rushed home. I was all shook up, of course. And what had happened was that my boys got home from school, and I had told them not to open the door for anybody, of course. But they said they thought it was their sister knocking. They thought she forgot her key and knock on the door, and it was around the same time that she would be coming home. So they just opened it, and it was some strange guy pushes his way into the house and took my one son and threw him up against the wall. And my other son ran out the door and ran to the office, and they called the police. Well, my one son that was attacked, um, of course, he was very shook up and everything. Well, the intruder went straight to the master bedroom, which was Lauren's room. So the assumption was that he was after Lauren, went straight to her room, that he was looking for Lauren, maybe was going to rape her. Who knew? Um, because nothing was stolen. She wasn't there, and he went in that room, and because she wasn't there, he left. So it was months later that a detective called me and told me they figured out what had happened. Um, that guy was actually in the wrong apartment. That he was supposed to go into this certain apartment and rough up the woman that lived there. Um, and the he was in the wrong apartment, and he went in that bedroom looking for the woman, and no woman was there. So it was all a mistake, but sure scared the crap out of us. So time's up now, and more to come. Watch again, subscribe, like me. Thank you.